start out by talking a little bit about the ways in which you think your Tufts experience might have helped you in the real world, and any ways in which you think your time at Tufts gave you a leg up in the business?
Tufts absolutely was a great platform for me and a great environment. I met tons of creative people there, but it also encouraged you to kind of take responsibility and the kind of ideals of self-determination that are so inherent in the Tufts education, and that I could be abroad and live in other countries while still at the university and explore programs that, you know, were almost bespoke to my own desire to learn. And that experience, I think, really translated for me. I think that exposure to the international market and the world at such a young age was both, you know, gratifying and exciting, and something I've used in my business life.
As you know, there are many Tufts alums who have been really successful in media and entertainment. What do you think it is about Tufts that has produced so many people who've gone on to great things in this field?
Well, I think Tufts is a cool school, too, you know, and it has a kind of fun edge to it. You know, it's not a kind of institutional environment. It's an educational environment, but an environment that kind of fosters creativity, you know, between the dramatic arts that go on inside the school, the affiliation with the museum school. There's a lot of creative people there. There's a lot of people from around the world there. And I think it just fosters a wonderful environment. The campus itself is a wonderful environment for creativity. And it doesn't surprise me at all that Tufts has a lot of successful people in media, because I think it is a kind of institution on its own right that supports creative people and would encourage that kind of thinking.
Absolutely. So what kind of advice would you give to our current students who are interested in breaking into the TV business?
I think the current class of kids who may be interested in television should be, you know, looking at it from a kind of broader context. You know, I think the world is changing, and it's not just about TV anymore. It's almost TV is video now, and it's ubiquitous. I mean, media is more powerful than it's ever been, but coming up with the right models to monetize it and ways to actually benefit from it on a career basis are really open to kind of entrepreneurship. And I think you're going to see the next generation kind of define what media will be and figure out new models. And whether it's a Tufts kid coming up with the next YouTube or not, I think there's going to be big opportunities for entrepreneurship.
What are three things you think we should do at Tufts to help prepare students for going into media?
Three things you should do. I think you should continue to encourage the internships. At Reveille, we have a number of Tufts interns, which has been a successful program for us and for the kids. And I think that another thing would be probably to kind of bring them out to LA, bring them to New York. Actually, Boston is not a great environment for media. It's a limited environment in terms of scale of marketplace, you know, WGBH, a couple of radio stations, but doesn't have the kind of breadth and concentration that exists in LA and exists in New York. And I would encourage that kind of activity and maybe create a program in which you could actually, and maybe you have these programs, but, you know, be inside those marketplaces during the school year, not just during the summer. And a third thing would maybe to, you know, continue the kind of guest speaker programs you guys do. Access firsthand. I really encourage people who want to be in entertainment and in media to do it. It's one of those industries where if you're a writer, your only limitation is either a laptop or a pencil and piece of paper. It's not about a craft. It's not about learning. It's about doing. And that's the same with acting. You know, so many people choose entertainment around lifestyle, and they think it's about fame, or they think it's about, you know, ego and affirmation. In reality, it's about doing. And if you're performing in the theater at Tufts, you're performing and you're practicing your trade and you are honing your craft. You're not limiting your craft. So I think there's a kind of, you know, fantasy about it on a lifestyle basis, but the reality is you can do it anywhere.
Last question. All the different things that you've done, what are the 2 or 3 projects to date that you're most proud of?
Definitely the most proud of The Office. I love that show as a fan of the British version. I passionately fought for it and, you know, architected it and cast it and hired the writer. And I was involved with that on every stage from A to Z. And it's so rewarding to see it catch an audience and grow and become a successful franchise. And that's definitely the show I'm most proud of. I also take a lot of pride in having identified the reality trend and kind of engineered the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire deal, among others, and that also was really rewarding too.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.